Good morning on this Tuesday. It's July 25th. I'm Chris Allen here on the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, Twitter. Sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Well, we had some thunderstorm in the area yesterday, a severe thunderstorm watch. Couple of warnings, but they were mostly west of I-65. And remember yesterday, if you were watching, I said most of the activity west of 65. Should anything develop, they held together a little better than what the models were showing and what I was seeing myself. It just looked like everything was just going to kind of fizzle out before it got here, but it held together pretty well. And so we had some scattered showers in the area and some strong thunderstorms. But all in all, it just kind of fell away as we went into the evening and got past dark, except for these showers that you're seeing on the radar this morning. These are over toward, looks like Green River Lake, southeast of Campbellsville, moving through parts of Casey County and into the Sunset area. And then you see a few more down toward Williamsburg in the far southeast corner of Kentucky and eastern Tennessee, but nothing else going on here. Now, keep in mind that the atmosphere is such that we could see something redevelop later today because of old boundaries from the thunderstorms that popped up yesterday. That's always a possibility given how fickle these storms are. In other words, they're really hard to predict just exactly where and when they are going to happen. Like yesterday, I was a little surprised that they all held together as well as they did. But if I had maybe looked deeper into the moisture, the boundary layers and the moisture levels, I could have seen maybe something holding together. So it hit a pool of moisture yesterday, one of those boundaries, and it just blew everything up. There was some very minor wind damage back to the west and mostly just collapsing thunderstorms, the downburst kind where everything just falls right at once, the wind, the rain, all in one spot, was pretty much what we saw yesterday in a few places back to the west. It is a possibility that somebody might see something like that again today. So that's why I say just don't get too caught up in the exact forecast of it's going to be mostly sunny with a stray shower. That's pretty much what I said the forecast would be yesterday, but those stray showers held together and were a bit more robust given that there was enough moisture to work with to get those things going. So today the air mass is a little muggier, a little bit warmer. You can see we're seeing a lot of 60s in the northeast and central parts of Kentucky, but then when you get down here to the south, 70s, and back to the west, there are a few low 70s out there this morning. And where you did pick up rain yesterday, you're most likely to be seeing some patchy, dense fog on your way into work or whatever you're doing this morning until we get a little more sunlight. And there may be even a few clouds just kind of left over from yesterday's rain. Here's a look at the 10-day blender. And again, we're going to have to treat this like we're treating the forecast. Any place, anytime, storms, yes, but the models are having a hard time as well trying to pinpoint how hot it's going to be. Now, if you look at this on the surface, which unfortunately a lot of weather people do, they'll take a look at this and go, there's your numbers. This is what's going to happen. But they're not really taking into account how much wet weather that we've had recently, how lush and green everything is, and that tends to shave off a few degrees from the numbers that you're seeing right there. So again, I feel like this may be overdone. Yes, it's going to get hot. It's, for good Lord, it's the end of July, the beginning of August. There are parts of the country, granted, that are setting some records, and all you hear about is the heat. Okay, It's summer. You're supposed to hear about the heat. It's supposed to be in the 90s. Okay. This we treat this like it's some kind of a anomaly, like it's a big deal, and it's not. This is a little warmer than the average, which is 90, 91. So today we'll be close to that. We hit 92 yesterday before those storms came in. That's pretty normal, okay? That's not like abnormal. It's when we get into the hundreds that it becomes abnormal. But here you go, you get low to mid 90s. I would take 2 or 3 degrees off of what you're seeing here and just bring it down just a little. It's still going to be hot. It's still going to be muggy. And there's going to be that chance that we could see some shower activity anytime, any place during that 10-day stretch. More importantly, when there's a boundary close by or a cold front, which there will be, say, Saturday night into Sunday, and that's going to bring the temperatures down just a little. Okay. But it just, it really blows my mind how everybody goes, oh, it's hot. It's humid. It's summer. We're in the middle of the dog days of summer. This is normal, okay? Now, again, I'm not taking away from some parts of the country where it's in the hundreds and it's in the 90s at night. That's not good. And if people don't pay attention and don't play it safe and they don't follow the forecast, then they may be in trouble. And if people overwork themselves outdoors, you may be in trouble. But to me, that's just like common sense. That's not anything that should be treated as, oh my gosh, this is so horrible that we've never seen this before. That's the way it gets reported on the news, and it grinds my gears. Which, in a sense, I'm saying I'm old. Okay. So look at the uh, model map. Okay, so again, keeping in mind any place, anytime. Let me hear you say it. You got it. Okay. So remember yesterday, it wasn't showing much of anything over us. It showed everything in Western Kentucky, and that proved out to be true. Today, it's showing a little bit of instability, again, with some daytime heating right here along the southern part of Kentucky and middle Tennessee and East Tennessee. So again, but this could be located up here, or it could be located down here instead of right here. That's what I'm trying to paint the picture of. It is where old boundaries, these old boundary layers, and with enough daytime heating in the right place, it sees one of those little boundaries and goes, and there go the thunderstorms. They're not going to be exactly where you see them on this map. And that's why it's so hard to get an accurate pinpoint um, probability of getting one of those systems. But it's possible again today, just like yesterday. Here we go into this evening, and then we get into Wednesday. Systems are rolling across the north, but not necessarily in Kentucky. Although, if there's a boundary, sticking in a little boundary here and there, and there's one up here, any of those little leftover boundaries could spark another round of showers. That's why you can't just go by the models and the grids, and some of this information that we get is just based on what we've seen before and what's happening right now to predict what's going to happen. But sometimes the models have this time of the year have a hard time predicting accurately where these storms are going to pop up. So you need to just be prepared that something could pop up. And like we saw yesterday, sometimes they can become severe, but usually in one spot, very local, downburst, heavy rain and wind, lightning all in one spot, and then down the road, nothing. So here we go into Wednesday. Not much going on except what you see north of us, but we can't, again, rule out the possibility of a stray shower. Once we get into the weekend, there will be better opportunity for a front to come through, possibly touch off a little better or more organized showers and thunderstorms. Let's take a look at the 7-day surface map, and you'll be able to see there's an old boundary falling apart north of us. And then that could be the focal point for a couple of rounds of showers. You see one here over West Virginia, sorry, and northeastern Kentucky. And then you see this trying to form under a warm front in southern Illinois and right along the Ohio River and the Boot Heel of Missouri. Some of that may sneak into our area this afternoon. You see it right there. So again, even though what I just showed you on the model map doesn't par up with this. And so you're like, well, why does that one say this and this one says that? Again, it is trying to pin down what's going to happen, and it's having a hard time. So let's just, lean on the side of caution and say we could see more of those storms this afternoon like we saw yesterday, but for some of you, it might not happen at all. So in a sense, both of these scenarios are somewhat correct. So just plan on the possibility of more surprise showers. Here we go into tonight and into tomorrow. There's still little boundaries, just kind of stuck here. We get into Wednesday morning and afternoon, maybe some showers off to the north of us. These look on this map just to kind of hug the Ohio River, but some of them could sneak down here where we are in southern Kentucky, given enough daytime heating and an old leftover boundary. Here we go into Thursday, then into Friday. This system to the north is going to make some headway south right now, or will in the next couple of days. High pressure trying to block this incoming system, but eventually I think we are going to begin to get some of this activity as the front draws closer. The high begins to retreat. This is on Saturday, and then into Sunday, the front comes on in and will come on through Sunday into Monday and just lay south of us. But even though it's not painted in, I still think we could see some shower activity for the beginning of next week. So again, highs today in the low 90s, like yesterday when we hit 92, probably about the same, with that possibility that somebody could get showers and storms during the afternoon, just like yesterday, and the rest of you get nothing. Okay? That's the best I can do, given the parameters and the just crazy, wishy-washy way the weather is acting right now. It's very fickle. All right, I'm headed to the radio station, Sam 100.7, to do the morning show 6 to 10. And starting today, we're going to ask you to do your best Elvis. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all I got. You can sing like Elvis, talk like Elvis, move your pelvis like Elvis, but I won't be able to see it through the telephone or on the radio. But you can do that. Anyways, to win tickets to see the music of Elvis, which is coming to SkyPack, and that's to win tickets to that. So play along this morning when you hear an Elvis song that I play on the radio. That'll be your cue to call and do your best Elvis. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. In the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day, and I'll see you on the radio.